Could I have a motion to open the
Make a
meeting,
motion
please?
that we open this meeting of the Board of Architectural Review and Historic Preservation on May 8th, 2017.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Welcome to the Board of Architectural Review and Historic Preservation meeting for May 8th, 2017. We have a sort of reduced group here tonight, but we don't have much of an agenda, so it should all be fine. So I want to introduce our panel that is here. We have Christina Redding, Brian Brady taking over for Curtis Highsmith, and Susan Stevenson. Zach Studenroth is here, our historic consultant. And Antoinette, thank you for being here to take the minutes. Okay, let's start the meeting with signs.
Okay, the first sign on our agenda is Glen Bradford on Job's Lane.
Hello.
Hello.
You got the building permit, this is the new one.
Do you have a photo of the proposed awning yet?
We do.
Okay.
Is it here?
Yes. I'm Deolinda Broderick, and I'm an employee at Glen Bradford Fine Jewelry.
So it looks like it's a blue and white striped?
Yes. It
You have the
matches the
colors there?
decor. It matches the decor of the inside painting of the store.
Okay,
Yes, and the Glen Bradford double B butterfly logo on the front.
that's your logo?
Yes.
And it's just for the awning?
Yes. Yeah.
Board members, anything?
Nope.
You fine with it? Any public comment for Glen Bradford? Okay, motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the sign on Job's Lane for the awning for Glen Bradford.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're going to do the signing? Or no?
Next sign is Copious Row on Job's Lane.
Looks like all the pop-ups are coming.
They are, absolutely. Hi, Denise Fenchel from Hampton Signs.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Copious.
So this is the sign here,
That's it.
and it's,
The signs are pre-existing up there, it's just changing the lettering.
oh, okay. And it's Copious Row Beach.
Yes.
That's what it says. Fine.
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I am too. Any public comment on Copious Row Beach? Motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve this sign for Copious Row Beach on Job's Lane.
I second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next application is Kendra Scott.
Is that just all the same thing?
So these are
Three-dimensional letters,
three-dimensional metallic,
metallic gold.
satin finish. Just going across
Right
the
across the
Scott.
street.
Yeah.
Okay with me.
Any public comment on Kendra Scott? We all are in favor? Motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the storefront sign and window sign for Kendra Scott on Main Street.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next sign is Life Storage on Mariner Drive.
What's the window of Kendra Scott? Is there something in the window?
Yes, there's, I believe there's window lettering for it. I don't have,
Oh, let me see that again.
Life Storage?
no.
No, Kendra Scott, it says storefront and window. So we saw the storefront, but I didn't.
Okay, so I guess we okayed the storefront, right?
That's correct. Do we have to
It's very small letters saying Kendra Scott across the front of it. Is there
I
a,
think it actually might be in there. Is it?
That's a separate one?
Okay, that's separate. Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
No
fine.
problem.
We just need to...
Motion to
Okay.
approve the window sign for Kendra
Make a
Scott.
motion that we approve the window sign.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, sorry.
Now we have life storage.
Good evening. My name is Frank Bergoli, B-R-A-G-O-L-I, National Sign and Lighting Company. I'm representing Life Storage, the same owner as the original signs that were up there, which was self-storage. They became life storage. The only thing we're doing, in fact, this is less wordage that was up there before. All we're doing is changing what's existing from self-storage to life storage. There's a pylon sign, which is a double face
Right?
wood. Inside the facility, where was Uncle Bob's self-storage, now becomes life storage. Plate letters, which was up there as plate letters. And all we're doing to the awnings, there are two awnings,
Right.
which is page 5, which is retractable awnings, one in the front, one on the side, and all we're doing is recovering those. Leaving them up, just recovering it.
And are the existing awnings and signs the same color?
Exactly the same.
So it's just changing the wording, basically?
Just the wordage, the stamp on it.
That's no issue
No,
with this.
no objections.
Any public comment on life storage? Motion to approve.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we approve the sign application for life storage,
Standing sign.
the freestanding sign.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now I make a motion that we approve the storefront sign for life
That's
storage.
inside the facility,
Right.
yes.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now we're going to approve for life storage, the awning sign.
That's a silk.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next sign is Johnny Was on Job's Lane.
Storefront window and door?
I'm fine with that. I think it will.
Yeah.
It's got window lettering and a sign over the front window there. And
Okay. All I'm seeing here is the sign. Oh, I see, this is the lettering. That's really small.
Oh, okay.
And the color is
That?
not what's in the,
Right, no, the
Okay,
color is
it's
the
in the
Benjamin Moore
picture.
colors, yes. And it's gold leaf lettering on all the windows.
okay. No lighting?
No lighting, it's under the
Just
roof,
lettering.
there's no room for lighting.
Okay. Any objections?
No.
Any public comment for Johnny Was? Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Make a motion that we approve the sign for Johnny Was. It's storefront window and door. So,
Door and, there's multiple windows in the door.
we don't have
What?
separate.
There's multiple windows with Johnny Was on it.
Okay.
Oh, that's why that's, so there are
Right.
multiple windows, and they showed that. I second the motion.
Right, that's what,
Okay.
So we'll do the
see, this is,
storefront. Yeah, we'll do the storefront. So I make a motion, we approve the storefront sign for Johnny Was.
I second the motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the door sign for Johnny Was.
Second?
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm kind of curious.
And
Where's
the awning.
windows?
No, it's not.
No one.
It's windows.
Windows.
Window.
But they're
And the window
multiple.
sign for Johnny Was.
It's how many?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, could I just see that again? 'Cause I didn't see.
See
So
the
it's,
called out here.
1, 2.
3, 4, and then the door.
Okay. No problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
1 Kings Lane, Job's Lane,
Do we vote on that?
light fixtures.
Okay.
My name is Gerald Birdie. I'm representing 1 Kings Lane. We're here for the approval of the light fixtures for the 2 signs that have been approved previously.
This is the light fixture?
Yes, it is.
Here? Looks like a picture light?
Basically, it's sort of like a pencil T5, I believe, LED.
And the material's aluminum. What color is it?
It's a brushed aluminum.
Okay. Just
Search me.
We mounted at the top of the sign, shining down on it.
yeah. I have no issue with it.
This is not this. Oh, this is gone. Okay.
Any objection? No. Any public comment on the light for 1 Kings Lane? Okay,
There's 2 of them, one on the side on Jobs and one above the front entrance.
Right.
So that,
Make a motion that we approve the light fixtures over the signs for 1 Kings Lane.
I second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, Representative.
And Patrick's Pools, Inc.
Good evening. I'm Michelle Kenny Majeski, representing Patrick's Pools. We're just hoping for approval for our job signs.
And this is
That's
the
correct.
signs. Right. We're sensing that we have an issue with the photograph being on there. Instead of it being just an informational sign,
Okay.
it's reading more like an advertisement or a billboard, which is what we object to.
Okay.
So we'd like to see something with just Patrick's Pools and your website and the phone number and not a photograph.
Okay, but can we do our logo?
Yeah? mhm.
Okay.
Where's the logo?
It's this silly shark that my brother,
Is that on there?
no.
No.
So, and to me, Patrick's Pools, if you want to get technical, is, there are too many typefaces, and the actual business should be the thing that you read the biggest, that reads bigger, not the phone number.
Well,
And
they should put this down at the bottom, and this should be bigger.
there are 2 different fonts, the spacing, it just needs to be cleaned up, really. And the name of the business is smaller or harder to read than the actual phone number.
Okay.
And that gives a kind of advertising that, I think it's fine to identify your business and put the phone number and maybe the website, but it needs to be balanced, more balanced.
Okay. Not a
Thank you.
problem. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Okay, so
Have a
you're
good
going to come
night.
back to us with,
We'll see. Thank you.
okay.
Good night.
Good night. Well, so much for that.
I don't think she wants to adjourn.
She
She didn't know, though. Should we tell it? I don't think she...
Well, it just needs reading signing that. Well,
So
adjourn.
can we adjourn it for her?
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn the contractor application for Patrick's Pools.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And our last sign this evening,
Like a color...
I see
These are the ones, but not.
No.
Sorry about that.
Do you have names?
They're known as one random activity and with the when going to be on the with the stars.
comment? Activity?
Approved for all signs.
Sign. So I make a motion that we endorse the
Aye.
motion that we under that appropriated.
All in favor? Aye. And we first evening LLC at 116 North E Road. That's to we have SH24 and SH28 to May 22nd.
There's a letter of adjournment on the first one.
Oh,
Okay. Hamptons LLC for the owner's request to adjourn.
it's HGS.
On July,
Aye.
Aye.
and I make a motion that
The adjourn. Okay, so, that noted?
motion
All last one?
We changed this, at your request, we changed the size of the windows. You don't
Right.
front.
Oh,
Same.
And a picture. A rent. Request.
plans.
So they're all the same size?
They're all the
documents?
same,
Right.
Let me have a couple details of the soffit. And a picture of a rendering of the landscape plan. Right. Details.
cream color, not white.
Right. It's just, they should,
Just checking.
everything's good.
Is that correct?
Shadow helps being, bleach out.
Comments right now.
Yeah. Big. I think it's brackets.
Construction,
perspective, maybe. Help the back of that. You have Dan next to the terrace, the living room opens to the terrace.
Yeah, it's going to create the light coming off the house.
I want to make it dark.
No,
Much
is it district for a for written?
but you can,
Motion adjourned for decision.
I make a motion that we fourth.
All in
Jim and Mark Lewin.
two, yeah, only. Don't, like, oh, this is.
Changes at all. Good evening, Chief Sean Leonard. And I know.
I want to know what.
We
I want to have.
Marjorie.
Second.
I'm sorry, I'm wrestling with this huge
I
file.
second.
All in favor?
The
For
motion.
written decision by our council. I'm sorry, I was wrestling with this huge file.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We can't vote on it, is
We
the
can't vote on
problem.
it. Can't even open it.
You know. So,
Can I make a motion to adjourn it?
No.
Right. So, when's next?
Over just I think and on the flip side, so flip that over. Yes. On shed dormers of the house, those have been donated. Those dormers were chained to a curved instead of yeah.
Better.
We were okay with our time, but even or pitch. entry. Well, yeah, I mean, it's on the east cap. It's got be pretty hard. It's a flex piece that's
Okay. Any public?
Make a motion to adjourn or by our council.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right.
Good evening. Nice to see it's on. And we're here.
We did.
No, they've been.
No. What color are they?
Cedar last grayed out.
Oh,
And
They're all.
Stand for it, that
no.
this is about 2-inch space, very simple.
Should I- would you like to see?
You got stamp ones up that way.
No.
Yep.
No.
So,
The center is about 4.5 feet.
yeah,
They're 2-inch spaced.
Okay.
They're very simple.
Yeah, I went over
very
there
simple, yeah.
today. It's a big mess. They're
getting
putting in
there.
the landscaping.
It's
It was
getting there.
Quite something.
Christina? I'm fine with it too. I think it's
Perfect.
very simple, handsome.
Thank you.
Any public comment for the driveway gates?
I love that.
450 King Lane? Okay. Motion to adjourn for written decision.
I make a motion that we adjourn 450 Gin Lane LLC for the 2 sets of driveway gates for written decision by our council.
Do I have a
I
second?
second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. What's 2 sets of, oh, it's
That
just,
concludes our historic applications.
Our next application is 61 Pheasant Lane.
Good evening. The applicant, John Bennett, and project architect Jim McMullen is with me tonight, as are Tim Rump, Mary's Design, the project landscape architect, and Jim Walker, Nature Science Research Associates. I wasn't present at the last meeting, but Mr. Wittich, who has been a client of mine for some time, and asked me to appear. It didn't appear to me that there was any issue with the exception of the Widow's Walk. There were 2 neighbors to the east, Zabaro and Lewin, who were in support. I don't know that Mr. Lewin's evidence of his support made it into the record, but I do have a copy of an email that he sent, in which he said supports the project. That's a copy of an email from Mr. McMullen to me, from Mr. Lewin, that Mr. McMullen forwarded it to me, but I printed it out for everybody's benefit. There was a question that the neighbor to the south had concerning Widows Walk. So what we did, we went back and did our homework, and we're here to show you, I think fairly conclusively, that there will be no effect on any privacy concern to the neighbor to the east by reason of the construction of this Widows Walk. We did, even though we're going to talk a little bit later about some Widows Walk that the board recently approved that was closer to the neighbors and larger, and my client did want to point that out to the board. We will point that out to the board, but nevertheless, I did ask my client to reduce the size of the proposed Widows Walk, and he did. So I think that's important. We'll talk a little bit more about that, referencing specifically the Shafroff approval on Wyandanch. So Jim McMullen is going to present, and I think you'll agree with me that the hard evidence shows that not only as a result of the existing landscaping on the property of the neighbor to the south, but also the proposed landscaping, which has been designed by Mr. Rumpf, who's here to ask any questions if you have them, that there is zero impact on the privacy of the neighbor to the south. Jim?
Sure. The neighbor to the south had some concerns with the roof deck. So what we've done is we have rotated the house approximately 10 degrees more towards the west and slid the house 15 feet further to the west. And that kind of takes the view shed and turns it away from her house and pool area. What we've also done, that Mr. Rump has done, is we've doubled up the landscaping along the south property line, and where there is a slight gap, he has put in double rows of evergreens that are 20 to 22 feet high. Our deck, the roof deck, standing at eye level, you're about 28 feet high. So we do have a photograph that we took by drone. You can see we are at 28 feet high, and this is right now what you can see from that roof deck, and none of this landscaping is obviously installed yet. There's a hedge here, which is about 15 to 18 feet high. Multiple trees, especially more on the neighbor's side around her tennis court. And this is what you can see of her house.
But again, this is with the existing landscaping prior to the installation of Tim Rump's design.
Also, Mr. Bennett said that we reduce the size of the roof deck.
It's like it's 10 by 15 now.
Yes, it was 10 by 24. Now it's 10 by 15.
I just have a letter on with Jim's signature to that effect.
But this was just brought to us today.
So, again, when my client called and said, we'll talk about that Shafroff roof deck later, well, the board presented approved a larger Widow's Walk. I nevertheless said, you know, let's go back and try to work on the size of this one. I didn't want to come back with I wanted to come back and show you that we tried to make it smaller, but also that the hard evidence shows that there's not going to have any effect on the privacy.
And this Widow's Walk will be about 100 or 310 feet from the neighbor's house. Also, so it's quite a ways away.
It might help just to talk a little bit, and what I handed up is Jim's letter, which talks about the reduction in the Widow's Walk, but also compares the Shafroff Widow's Walk that's down by, I think it's on Wyandanch, it's the second lot in from the intersection of Wyandanch and Gin. Do you want to we had a little bit of a comparison.
Sure.
On that, which is, by the way, a Widow's Walk, which is more of a true Widow's Walk. It sits on top of the ridge.
Yeah. This Widow's Walk is actually at 32 feet high, and this portion is 20 by 20, or 19.6 by 19.3, and then this is about 12 by 10. And then also, this, you can see where this one sits, where ours is actually cut into the roof and sits in between the main ridge and two gables. So standing on the Widow's Walk, you cannot see to the east, the north, or the south because the ridge is higher than a person is.
But again,
So it's
our
only to
proposed
the
one,
south.
as opposed to the...
As opposed to this, where you
wide
have 360 degrees of view.
And it's larger.
Yeah.
Did you have you demonstrated that there was a bit closer? If you have it, Jim, or maybe that was...
I believe I do.
Something showing how close that one is. But again, I didn't want you to take our word for it in terms of the privacy. We're trying to show you by hard evidence that there's not going to be an impact on privacy, because I know that's one of your, consistent. It's a consistent concern of the board, and I appreciate that. So I didn't want to ask you to approve it without some comfort that there wasn't going to be any impact. Only if you have it, Jim. That was on an aerial.
Yes.
I'll have Jim demonstrate it, but then we'll hand it in for the record.
So this is an aerial of where this structure is, and using Google Earth, from the roof deck, you have about 111 feet to the neighbor's property.
Now, this is the Wyandanch one again.
Yes.
Not,
308 to the one across the road, and 152 to the neighbor to the north.
So actually, we thought that our application was actually more compelling than the one that received approval. And I know, people say, well, you did this here and you did that there. The question is whether or not the people are similarly situated. And I think I respectfully submit that our client's application is even more compelling.
What is your point about the distance? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Where it's much closer to the Wyandanch.
The Wyandanch is closer to the neighbors
Neighbor than this one is.
than we are.
Substantially so.
Yeah.
But isn't there going to be another neighbor
Well,
No,
over there?
no, not on ours.
no.
Okay.
Because there is another neighbor that's building to the north. But where our Widow's Walk is, the ridge behind us is too high to
I
see
see.
past.
Okay, because there is another
Yes, there
going
is.
on.
So in a way, in my mind, the typical Widow Walk sits on top of the ridge. This is actually,
There's,
Yeah. Yours is nicer designed as well.
we made them make it smaller, didn't we? Sure.
Now, actually, being smaller, I think, helps the architecture of it.
On the other one, too, though.
yeah. And again, it's a little bit of if I may, it's a little bit of a tussle sometimes when, a person coming new to the process, you say, I still want you to make it smaller. Well, but I said, no, let's go back and show the board we're listening. But I also wanted you to see that privacy was not a concern at all.
Comments, Susan?
No. But this was just put into the file today?
This was just
Stamped May 8th, so the neighbor has,
Well, if the neighbor had continuing concerns,
no, they wouldn't have known there were new.
Well, they could have, but it's...
I'm not going to argue with you, Mr. Bennett.
No, but it's incumbent on...
I'd like it longer to look at it then, how's that?
We're working on trying to get something on the
this is really-
checklist that
Okay.
things have to
Really,
come in a little bit sooner.
And it would be, actually, it's easier for us if we got a chance to see the plans, because we have been in the building department today, and there's, okay, really, it's just a process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing else to say.
No. All right. Thank you for your adjustments. I think it was all
Thank you.
done.
Thank you.
Okay, this goes,
So if we'd ask that you adjourn it for the next
next
meeting.
time. Yeah, that's fine. Here's, Do we need 5 copies of this, or how many ones of this?
This was one that is different to everything.
Yeah, these are older. This is the new. This is May 8th.
Yes,
It has a, so we need,
2 copies.
do we keep the old ones?
No, they're already in the file.
Were these passed out, or was this in the file? That's my question. I think that was in the file.
We don't need any of that.
Are you sure?
Give that back, right?
You want to give it back to them? Was this brand new? See, this is March
We give this back
23rd.
to them?
That's the old one,
Yeah.
okay? And this is the new one.
Here's the letter. This is stamped. Any of it? Oh, here it is, stamped. It goes in. We don't need 5 copies of that, do we? Just
So
one.
we're adjourning this?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion to
Motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn the application of 61 Pheasant Lane LLC.
To our next meeting. I would second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye. See you next time.
Thank you.
Would you like to give it back to them? Do you need that?
We don't need that.
Would you
Do
like
you want this
that?
stuff back?
Do you love
You
that
should have it
paper?
as well, I think.
It's 2 copies though.
Oh, okay, sure, I'll take the rest. So, whatever you want.
The file is ever expanding.
Thanks.
Okay. Is that it? Oh, motion.
This goes in Captain's name.
Last one. 640 Ox Pasture.
We need to get that at least. Thing.
Yeah, big accordion or something.
This all goes in there.
Right.
This is all extra.
Is this, wait, I think that one's a good one.
These are what came tonight.
And these are all,
I'm going to put these in the front.
Okay. And then these 2.
and this is no good anymore?
What about those?
Those are
Those
old.
are the
March
old ones
23rd.
that were in the file, but the large plans are the same. So
Is that right? So
Are we
this is
keeping these
throw
in
out.
the file?
those go in the file,
All
yes.
right, I'll be taking care of this. All right.
Okay. Next application is 640 Ox Pasture LLC.
Great. John Bennett, the applicant. Always a pleasure to have Frank Greenwald with me, who's going to present the application. It's a new house at the very end of Ox Pasture, the very, very end, as Ox Pasture dead ends into, is that Taylor or Hetty Creek? I guess it's Hetty Creek.
Hetty.
Yeah. So it's currently approved with a single-family residence. It's not in the historic district. The demolition permit has been issued for the existing residence. I just want to let you know before Frank comes up and presents in terms of where we are with the other agencies. The wetlands special permit was obtained from the ZBA, and the planning board was approved for a tennis court on the property, as well as a significant landscaping plan, which was not only part of the ZBA approval, but the zoning board of appeals approval. And it's sort of neat for Frank. He drew the house directly to the south, right? So this is.
Do you have small sets?
another application.
Maybe they were full-size sets submitted?
They're full size and they're so big that
We can hardly,
Want to hand out that one and work from?
Yeah, that's just the one.
I think the 3 of us could look at this one.
Frank Greenwald,
Yeah.
architect,
Like the campfire.
295 Main Street, Saginaw.
Good.
So this is an application for a new shingle-style traditional residence, about 4,600 square feet, 5 bedrooms. This actually is, my client owns the house next door, which we built 7 or 8 years ago, I guess. And this is what's called the guest house for the main house. The property is adjoined. Just a bunch. Basically, it's a similar architecture to the main house. The main house is a fairly elaborate gambrel-style, Southampton-style cottage. And this is a sort of simplified version, taking elements of that house. It's a gambrel. It's a sort of softened gambrel.
It's a much simpler shape than the main house. It would be white painted shingle, white painted trim, white painted shingle, darker shutters, very, very similar to the main house.
The house to the south I think it was designed and built by Jürgen Friedrich.
Jürgen Friedrich,
You might know him as that. Yeah.
He sold it to my new client, who then purchased his property next door. So, yeah, I would say it's just a very simple, shaped, traditional shingle-style residence. Just taking the design cues from what we did several years back.
I love that house. That's a great house.
I love the other house. The first
The
house.
Stephen Gambrell
Oh,
inside is very
so
nice, too. I always kid Frank that I like the inside a little more than the outside. I'm just kidding, Frank.
Very funny. Yeah, these are actually just some images of the, I don't know if you can see up there, but some images of the existing house. That's the existing garage, which we've sort of taken those elements and combined them into the new garage.
And this second-story roof deck, just to...
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so it's a roof deck.
There are two, there's a very small balcony on the, what side is that? On the...
Where are we, Frank?
Right here.
It's the south side.
On the south side.
Looking into the other Simon house.
Yes. It's set back about 60 feet from the lot line. It's a sort of very small balcony on it's the two second-floor bedrooms. I think it's about 5 feet deep, perhaps. And there's a large 5-ish feet deep. It's sort of enclosed on three sides, and it looks basically into a hedgerow that separates the two properties.
Again, the property that's controlled by the same owner.
Right, that's
So you're
their
spying.
privacy I'm not so interested in. They can worry about it.
And if it helps in terms of context, this is across the street.
No, that's fine.
This is at the very end of the... Okay.
Susan?
No, I think it's okay. But when did what's the date?
Yeah, I think it's terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that other house.
Any public comment?
Charlie?
Okay, motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the application at 640 Oaks Pasture LLC.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And the client says thank you as well.
That other house is so fantastic.
Yeah, it's one of the nicer houses
I'm
out
not
here.
usually covetous, but
Right?
I do
Thank you.
like that one.
Thank you.
All right.
We try.
Okay, what we have
Sometimes-
left are minutes.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, so I read them.
All right.
Thank you very
motion to
much.
close. Thanks, Mary.
Good evening.
Motion,
Make a motion that we close this meeting of the Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation on May 8th, 2017.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.